As you know, though, Michelle Obama, well, she's been busy on her tour of grievance, this time complaining about how tough life is and was as a First Lady. Well, here's her latest whinge.
That little 8-year stint as First Lady tends to confine, to be a bit confining, right? Because, you know, that the job was not to just represent me, but to represent the nation. And as the first Black family in that house, just like, you know, Black folks feel in all the first positions, that we're carrying the torch, we're lighting the way, which means that we've got to do it really, really well.
So now she says she felt confined as the First Lady. I mean, Alex, spare me. It's why she's being interviewed in the first place.
Spare me is exactly right. I mean, you were the first Black First Lady in, you know, American history. There's no reason to be a victim. And, you know, I don't really like Barack Obama, but let's just admit that he's got aura, he's got swag, he's a great, you know, orator. And when he talks, he doesn't constantly sound like a victim. I don't know why Michelle doesn't copy her husband and use some of the public speaking skills that he has, because every time that she goes out and does an interview, she either embarrasses him, she embarrasses herself, or she embarrasses her brother, who was her podcast host and I think had to quit. So Michelle Obama has a victimhood disorder where she feels like even though she's one of the most successful Black women in American history, she's still a victim somehow. So I really hope that she's not a role model for young Black women, that when they have success, do not go and complain about it on podcasts constantly. Nobody wants to hear that. So, you know, Michelle Obama, copy Barack, please.
On the other hand, it does provide us with endless content on shows like this, Alex, so maybe she shouldn't stop anytime soon. Look, finally, Democratic Californian State Senator Scott Walker, he's proposed new legislation this week called the No Kings Act, which would make it easier for residents to sue immigration officials for violating their constitutional right. Walker is running to replace retiring Nancy Pelosi's House seat. How do you think he'll go with ideas like this?
You know, honestly, they say illegal immigrants can't vote because that's what he's basing his whole entire campaign, is that he hopes that these illegal immigrants, I guess with no voter ID laws, can go vote for him. Because I'm telling you, this is a bipartisan issue. People don't want illegal immigrants taking their jobs from them. That's the problem. It's like, in theory, we think that we're countries competing against each other, but that's not the truth. It's really just citizens within America competing with each other to get jobs. And once you bring in all this illegal immigration, these companies can pay them so much less, and it just makes it much, much harder to get a job. So I think this is a bipartisan effort to actually shut down the border and to, you know, clean up our country. And I know that, you know, the media might not give you that impression, but trust me, there's a lot of leftists that are sick and tired of illegal immigrants hitting them in their car, not having insurance, causing them all kinds of issues. They see their, you know, crime is up. It's just, when it comes down to ICE agents, they're not the problem. It's leadership like this that wants to protect the illegal immigrants, and not the hardworking, you know, American police force that is trying to make our country a safer place.
That is certainly not the impression that we're getting from many of the mainstream media outlets over there. So thanks for shining some light on what people are really thinking. Alex Stein, thank you for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you guys for having me.